I've been hearing for at least 3 to 5 years that California is set for a housing market correction or crash. I mean, how much can housing prices actually go up? And to be honest, after a year where housing prices went up 15.5% here in San Diego, where I live, I'm ready for prices to come down a little bit. But is it going to actually happen this year in 2021? My name is Dan Parker. I'm a real estate agent right here in San Diego. And the question of the day is, are housing prices going to come down this year in 2021? And if they will, how much are they going to come down? Is it going to be a significant amount? Is it time to wait to buy a house 6 months, 8 months down the line, or should you buy today? And we really started to hear chatter about there being a potential crash at the beginning of 2020. So around March, April, we really started to hear chatter about this because people were thinking there's a pandemic, their businesses are closing down, people are out of work. There's definitely going to be a housing market crash. But guess what? Inventory went down, fewer people were selling their houses, but more people hit the market because mortgage interest rates went so low. I mean, they're the lowest they've ever been in history. So that brought a ton of buyers onto the market. And as a result, housing prices have skyrocketed. Now, in California as a whole, housing prices have gone up since 2013. We had a big housing market crash in 2008, took a couple of years to recover. In 2013, we started to see some positive growth. Throughout most of California, since 2012, housing prices on average have doubled. And if you take all the other factors away, everything else that's happening in the world, everything that's happening right now, the reality is a healthy housing market goes up and down. It has years of growth, flat lines, comes down a little bit. It's going to progress up over time, but the reality is it's never going to stay consistent. It's never going to continue to go up forever. There's going to be a point where it starts to come down. And generally that's around the 4 to 5 year mark. So we're due. You would say that we're due with no other factors considered. And as a buyer or potential buyer, you really start to think like how much can prices actually go up before they start to come back down again? So then the question you start to ask is, what kind of factors would we need to have in order for the housing prices to start to come down? Whether it's a gradual come down or whether it's a crash, there's two factors that I can think of that would really affect the market right now. And first off is the interest rates. If the historically low interest rates that are around 2.5%, 3% right now go up to 4%, 5%, then that's going to pull a lot of buyers off the market. That's a difference of hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a month in their mortgage dues, especially when you're considering the prices of houses out here in California. Now, are interest rates going to go up that much? I don't have a crystal ball. I don't think anyone knows exactly what's going to happen, but most economists and most people that I'm reading from and listening to are saying they really don't expect interest rates to go up much over 2021. They might go up a little bit. They might start to creep up a little bit, but we anticipate for most of 2021 that interest rates are going to remain stable, which means we'll still have a lot of buyers out on the market. And then the other factor that would really contribute to housing prices coming down is if inventory increased. So how are the different ways that or the reasons why inventory or the homes for sale would increase in 2021? Well, starting off, the main reason people started to pull their houses off the market, the main reason inventory started to come down immediately around March or so when the pandemic started is because it's very simple. People were afraid. They didn't want strangers walking through their house. They were afraid of going out and trying to buy another house. We were supposed to shelter in place. So the more that people could avoid selling their houses if they had the opportunity to avoid it, they did. And they've been waiting this entire time. So maybe there will be a point where a lot of those people will come back on the market. I think there will be a point when a lot of those people will come back on the market. But at the same time, it also might have just kept people from moving in general. Maybe it's going to be years before they sell their house again. And the good news is we're starting to see some vaccines go out. And that really is going to give confidence to people that have been waiting for this pandemic to finally subside. And the other reason why inventory might increase in 2021 is because people are leaving California. We're all hearing it. There's a mass exodus from California. And although there are people leaving California, it really, for the most part, is coming from the big cities. So people are leaving very dense areas, downtown LA, downtown San Francisco, and they're going more into the suburbs, or they're leaving for another state, maybe Austin, Nashville, Tennessee. Those are some of the areas that I'm hearing a lot about. The thing you have to keep in mind here is this is very area specific. So all of California, can't be thought of as being the same when it comes to this. People are leaving the very dense areas and they want to move to suburbs, or they want to move somewhere where they can afford a home. And the other thing that people are kind of talking about that's going to happen in 21, the reality is this is going to happen in 2021. The question is how much of an effect it will have is the mortgage forbearance, the federal program that was introduced through the CARES Act is going to expire in 2021. And if you don't know what mortgage forbearance is, it's basically a relief program that allowed people that had lost their jobs or came up with financial hardship to kind of defer some payments on their mortgage. So whether it was added on to the very end of their bill or due in 6 or 12 months, it allowed people to avoid their payments for a couple of months. But the thought is, what kind of effect is this going to have long term? All right, so let's just take a look at the numbers real quick. Right now, there are just under 3 million Americans that are in some type of forbearance relief program. Back in May, there were 4.78 million Americans with some type of forbearance relief program. So we're seeing that decline over time. That is a very good thing. And we're seeing employment rates go up as well. Now, if we look back at 2008, when there was a housing crisis in 2008, we saw 10 million delinquent loans. So the numbers there are very substantially different. We aren't going to see a repeat of what we saw in 2008. Will there be an issue of people's homes getting foreclosed on because of what's happening right now? I mean, yes, we will. We will see that happen. The question is how many people and what are the numbers going to be? And is it going to be having a drastic effect on the housing prices here in California? All right, so what is my interpretation on this? Well, the demand is really high right now, and we're not seeing it go down. We are seeing people pull themselves out of the market that are just beaten down with not getting their offers accepted time and time again. But for every one person that leaves the market, we're seeing 2 new people hit the market that are desperate to get the house of their dreams, paying over asking, releasing contingencies, things like that. And unless we see interest rates really drastically start to rise, that's not going to change too much over the next 6 or 12 months. So are we going to see a housing market crash here in 2021? My prediction is no, we're not going to see a crash. I really do believe that once the market hits its peak, you might see prices start to come down a little bit. And that might start to happen this year, maybe middle to the end of the year, we're going to see that start to happen. But here's the thing. Here's the problem. You aren't going to see housing prices come down until you hit the top. And housing prices might go up another 10, 15, 20% before they start to come down a little bit. Maybe they'll go up 15% to come down 6%. So if the question in your mind is, should I wait to buy a house for when the market starts to drop? The answer is, I don't think so. I don't think that that's a good enough excuse. If trying to time the market, this is not a good play right now. But hey, there's always next year. I mean, 2022, let's be real. It's too far out to really make any accurate predictions right now, especially with the state that the world is in. If 2020 has taught us anything, it's that you really don't know what can happen over the course of 12 months. So if you are considering buying a home, make sure it's the right time for you, because it's not the right time for everybody. But if you're just waiting to find the right deal or waiting for the market to come down, you might be sitting on your hands forever, waiting for the market to get lower than it is right now. And all that happening while you could have gotten into the market and started to gain some equity and appreciation on a home. So depending on your market, anticipate if you want to buy a house through all that or everything that's going on, you need to anticipate that you're going to need to get a little bit aggressive. You might have to come in a little bit over asking. But make sure that you know what's going on in your area and that you're connected with a really good agent that can help you and tell you everything that you need to know to give you the best chances of securing your dream home in the area that you want to live in. Which brings me to my last point. I'm a full-time real estate agent here in San Diego and a part-time YouTube creator. I love making these videos for you, but if I could help you find the perfect home here in San Diego, I'm happy to help you out if you have any questions. I also have a trusted referral network all throughout California, and I'm happy to connect you with someone that I trust if you are looking to buy a house and you don't have anyone to go to. So thanks so much for watching this video. We'll see you next time.